Not quite my tempo.
I'm gonna make him an offer he can't refuse.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Multiplex Loves Movies, episode 51. We made it through 50 of these things, and now we're on to 51. Let's see what happens on the next 50. Will Maggie finally get out of doing the show 1 week? Who knows? Let's bring her in right now. You almost got out of tonight's episode. I gave you the open slot. I offered it.
Did you? Did you really?
I did. All I said was, there's a lot of good shit we're talking about tonight. And you said, is there?
Because.
And you didn't say, actually, no. So it was.
I didn't know you were being serious. Next time you joke about giving me that option, I will take it.
All right. Sounds good. My lovely wife, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. Let's move on to the best manager in the biz, returning to Multiplex Loves Movies after a few weeks off, Cody Newberry. I thought Koho was gonna put it himself for a second when I said
it would have been funny. It would have just been incorrect. But no, I was when you said that you gave Maggie the option, I figured it was the Tim Brzakala. You can be on, but I'd really appreciate it if you'd be there. That kind of Tim Brzakala. But no, yeah, it's cool. I'm glad Maggie's here. The negativity is strong on this one tonight.
That's what I like to hear. All right, and then finally, last but not least, producer extraordinaire, Kaleb Koho. Kaleb, how are you this evening?
Tim wrote the other 51. I have been waiting to say this all day. Since I found out that the title was 51. Anyway, excited to be here.
That was put together with duct tape and
we have a Hamilton story too, which if there was going to be a time for a Hamilton story, the four of us being here, I think is very nice. Me and Maggie, new recruits to the Hamilton party, if you will, and then there's you guys, the lovers of it since the old age. So
since the beginning,
since people saw this in a place called a theater, a stage.
A stage. Have you, Koho? You've seen Hamilton live, right?
I have.
Tell me about it.
It's brilliant. It's really fun to see the choreography on stage, but it's also hard when you're far away, which is why I really appreciated the movie, because the movie gives you like you're in it, like you get to actually like be right in all of it. So that's what I really like about it. But it's a great experience being there. It's a lot of fun.
If I am not wrong, I believe you said that the man who played Hamilton during your production of it was Crapola.
Bobo. He was
not great.
He was not great. The touring company Hamiltons have a very spotty track record of living up to the hype of the role of Hamilton. But my Burr and my Jefferson were excellent.
Do they always do the same actor playing Jefferson
Yes.
and Lafayette? And
that's built into the show.
Okay, I just didn't know if that was something that they continued to. Something that me and Maggie were talking about earlier this week, which I don't know if you probably know because you're a Hamilton nut, but I was watching clips of the West End production, and I thought it was interesting that they literally cast everybody the same nationality as the American one. So like the woman who played Eliza was also Asian. The down to the T, like the Laurens was I'm losing my fucking mind here. Please help me, someone, before I lose my mind again.
I didn't see it.
Thank you, Hispanic. Jesus, I'm losing my fucking mind. So I thought that was kind of cool and interesting, although I wasn't a big fan of the guy who played Burr in the West End. I don't know if it was just me, but like Cody, have you heard it?
I'm not either.
No.
But he won apparently.
He won some award for playing the role over the guy who played Hamilton. So I was like,
It's usually that's how it happened at the Tonys too. Leslie beat out Lynn, but that's because Leslie is more deserving.
But that I would agree. Leslie is, I think, is better than
Lynn. Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay, so let's start get into the stories. The first one is something that broke today. Yikes! This is a big one. This actually contradicts a big thing we talked about last week, if I'm not mistaken, and that is Mulan is coming to Disney Plus, but not in the way that we would think. Honestly, it kind of this whole thing kind of makes sense. I'll break down the story and then we'll talk about it. But basically, Mulan is coming to Disney Plus on September 4th, but it's not just on Disney Plus for you to watch for free. There is going to be a surcharge of an extra payment to go along with it. So not only do you have to be a Disney Plus subscriber to be able to watch it, but you also have to pay an additional $30 to see it. That is a high price, especially considering other studios that have been putting out movies early to rent have only been $20. We still don't know if this is going to be like $30 and you own it or $30 and you rent it. They didn't really say. I assume it's $30 in rent and you probably get it for 48 hours or something like that. And then after about a month of this, it will be put on Disney Plus for free. I would imagine that's probably what's going to happen. And then you'll get a Blu-ray and 4K rollout, and then a purchase on Vudu and all those things later on come November, if I had to guess, November, December, just in time for the holidays. There's a lot to unpack here. I think the biggest thing is we said on the show, we've multiple times, not just last week, but we didn't think this was going to happen. And we thought it was taken off the schedule indefinitely. I believe that was last week. We talked about that. And we thought it would just drop sometime next year when everything was looking high and mighty. And that's not the case. It is still releasing theatrically overseas in places that are smarter than us. But for the United States, it looks like if you want to watch Mulan on September 4th, this is the way to do it. So, a lot of information here. Koho, I'll go to you first. Yeah. You're not even interested in seeing this movie. No. Taking that out of it, let's say this was your most anticipated movie of the year.
Right.
How do you feel about the business model that's going on here?
So, like last week, I think I talked about like I could see them putting it on Disney Plus. I didn't necessarily think they were going to do this, where you have to pay $30 on top of a Disney Plus subscription. What it sounds like is really you're paying $35 to watch Mulan. So this is Disney going, hey, we're Disney, suck our dicks. That's basically all they're doing is like, you will pay it because we are Disney and you want to see what we have. For me, this isn't one that I want to spend $35 to watch on my small TV. Like, if this was in the theater, I'd be more inclined to seeing Mulan in the theater because it is, like you said, a very action-heavy movie with a lot of like grand scale to the fighting. So it's like I would rather see that on a big screen. This is not a movie I plan on renting. It's on Disney Plus with my $5 subscription.
Cody, I know that in the chat when we talked earlier, you were not super happy about this. Is this something that you're going to do, or are you going to wait?
Hell no. I paid 3 years of Disney Plus in advance. I'm not paying on top of the money to watch a movie. I don't care. Like, one, I would pay that dollar amount for the theater, for a battle sequence theater one. I'm not watching it on my TV through streaming through my hillbilly internet provider that's probably going to pixel, like, not even do high quality when I need to stream it. So I think it's one, I've always thought this about Disney. They're massive, they're huge, they know what they're doing, but they put it out at such a cheap rate. Disney Plus, such a cheap rate. But then you're going to spike the market with your VOD. Like, just get off of it. Like, you're deterring people more for $30 than you would have made it with 20. People would have paid 20. I personally wouldn't have paid 20. I'm going to be honest with you. I won't pay any amount for it. I don't want to see it on my TV. I want to see it in the theaters so I can wait an extra month. I'll see every review come in. I'll see everybody like it or dislike it or whatever, and I'll watch it later. I know there's certain people that just cannot go without like missing the buzz around it. But me, nah, because I've also not been a big fan of their live action anyways. So it's their track record has not made a $30 worth purchase for me. So I think it's stupid. I think they're being way too greedy, especially during COVID times of everybody. Like, why send? Well, yours the most family friendly, and you're going to spike your prices by $10 more than the average other studio. Like.
Mm-hmm.
Maggie, we'll go to you next. So obviously I am going to be watching this on September 4th because I have a problem. I will spend the $30 and I will watch it. If it doesn't come to a theater in the US, if that's really the thing, like, because for all we know, next, like 2 weeks from now, they could say, hey, all these other theaters are opening for Tenet. We will be showing it in theaters that are open. That might still be a thing that has happened. That could happen, but if it doesn't, and take the fact that we live together out of it, would you spend the $30 to watch Mulan?
I mean, probably. To be honest, like it's definitely something that I'm looking forward to. It's a strange choice, but they made it pretty clear in their thing that this is a one-time thing, or they're hoping that it's a one-time thing.
Yeah.
So we can all pray that that's true. I mean, and I don't think it's so much that the price is higher because they're arrogant. I think it's more like they had $2 billion loss in the last quarter, and they're trying to make it up. They can't afford to like keep doing this, and that's fair. I mean, especially when, like we're going to talk about later, giant ass productions like Shang Chi need to get funded, and like their parks aren't really making any money, and they don't have any money being made in the theater. So like they're trying to make it up somewhere. It will be interesting to see how people react, like if families buy it because that have Disney Plus. I mean, because when you talk about $30, that's not so much for, like we talked about this last week too. My aunt and uncle have 7 children, so like paying $30 with their Disney Plus is not. That's less than they would pay to go see it in the theater. So I think it'll be interesting. I think the more annoying thing is that they're making it Disney Plus exclusive. Like if you're gonna drop it on VOD, just drop it on VOD.
I agree.
Like why are you doing this Disney Plus bullshit? Because like everyone's like it's being released on Disney Plus, but like not really. Like it is, but no, because you still
but you still have to pay for it. Yeah.
And that's really dumb. Especially like it'll be in because like you said, they haven't said if it's rent or if it's to keep. So it'll be interesting to see.
But if it's on Disney Plus, it's got to be just rent, right?
I would think
but everything
I know.
Plus is to watch forever, theoretically. Like, they don't really take things off there, especially if it's a Disney property.
They have, but I can't imagine that this movie would ever come off once it's on.
Right. The only reason I would think that they would make it to rent is so that if people like it, they'll spend the $30 more than once. But I don't think that that's going to happen. It's so bizarre. But I don't know. I also understand with their whole thing, like the big headline on Variety was, oh, well, they have over 60 million subscribers, so they're trying to bank on that. But we'll see. I don't know. It's a weird situation. Yeah.
Another thing, Maggie kind of brought it up a little bit. Bob Chapek, Disney CEO, did say, this is going to be a one-time thing. We're going to look at it, see it how it does, but right now we have no plans to do this with any other movies. But they have we're going to be talking about a couple other Disney things. Pixar's got a new movie that they're apparently putting out next summer, and we still haven't seen Soul. You have all the Marvel movies, you have everything. Maybe there was just no place to throw this. And then the other thing that they said in the article, which I'm trying to find exactly. Let me find it. I don't think I'm going to. They basically said that they threw away Artemis Fowl. They bought,
which is for the best because no one would have seen it.
Oh, the movie's garbage. So, but they threw away Artemis Fowl after spending $100 and some million on it. They paid like $200 million to get the rights to Hamilton, which would have made big bucks if it had played in theater. It would have made huge money because all of us would have gone and seen it multiple times in the theater. So that thing would have made cash money in the theater. And then now this. So I think I get where they're coming from saying to do the $30 because of it. But at the same time, you're Disney. Endgame, $2 billion. Highest grossing movie of all time. Infinity War, $2 billion.
They've had the highest grossing box office the last couple of years by billions.
Exactly. Everybody's hurting right now. And it's interesting. The funny thing is, if today, because Koho is the one who sent me, Kane was the one who sent the story to us before we saw it. If I would have got sent this article and this was about the New Mutants, I would have been like, and the movie was $20 to rent, I would have been like, okay. Like, I would still be like, I wish you would just put it out, but I'll spend the $20. I'll finally watch this fucking movie, whatever. Like, just let me see it at this point. It's just weird that it had to happen with this movie, which I think would have, if the world hadn't died and shut down, this movie would have made bonkers money.
Yeah.
Because overseas, it would have crushed. In the US, it would have crushed. This is easily $1 billion movie for them. And it's not anymore. So hopefully this is the last, and it's a one-time thing. I hope. I do not want to see this happen with something like Black Widow. I would be more inclined to see this if they were to do it again. Keep it on the straight Disney stuff. I want to see Soul in the theater, but I would much rather watch Soul at home and spend $20 or $30 to watch it at home once and then buy it on Blu-ray than have to watch Black Widow the first time and then have to try to argue with Koho about why Black Widow should be in the MCU even though it was not theatrically released in Fandom. That would be a whole fucking thing that I don't want to deal with.
Yeah.
I'm just glad they didn't make me charge us for Hamilton. I appreciate that.
Yeah, exactly. No, if that had come out in theaters, Disney, I would be at least 25% of the total domestic box office of Hamilton.
Well, no, I'm just saying if they put it on Disney Plus and then charged $20 for us to be able to rent it, I would have lost my mind.
I still would have paid bonkers money.
Well, yeah, I would have had Koho record it with his phone and then send me the link of him recording because I'm not paying the $20 because my ass.
Yeah, it feels a little bit like a trap. Like they put out Hamilton to like get all these people to sign up for Disney Plus, and now they're like, "Hey, now we're all."
You have me and Tim's $100. You have me and Tim's $160 and a bunch of other people. I know. I'm just saying
subscribers.
No, I agree with you. I'm just saying they don't need to be greedy with the money. A lot of us bought into Disney Plus for years to come.
Yeah. Right,
Stop
and I barely use it. Literally, I use it maybe 2 to 3 times.
Well, when it was new, we used it a lot.
We used it a lot.
Coming out in October. So.
That's true. I watch all the original programming, but for old stuff, I never really use it. Okay, let's move on. That was one spicy meatball. Let's move on to a much. I don't know how I feel about this. Let's talk about Matthew Vaughn. Matthew Vaughn may not come back for Kingsman 3. Here's what I'll say. As of right now, the Kingsman, which is the prequel movie, is still set to release in September. I believe September 18th. I think that's right. That sounds right to my heart, but I'm not 100% sure. It's still set to release then. Was directed by him. And I've got to say, if he doesn't come back for Kingsman 3, I haven't seen Kingsman yet, but I'm very okay with it. Because Kingsman: The Golden Circle is a turd. I don't give a shit what anyone says. I know Maggie kind of likes that movie a little bit. Pedro Pascal is wonderful. We all agree. But that movie, I think, is a turd. I wasn't excited about this prequel movie until the trailers started coming out. I've liked the trailers. I've liked Ray Fiennes. I think he looks really good. And then the main kid who was in I think he was in. I always get the two. I get the 1917 kid and the Maleficent kid
I think
mixed
it's
up.
the Maleficent kid.
Well, either way, the Maleficent kid was good in Maleficent, and the 1917 kid was good in 1917. So whichever one it is, cool. So I'm not looking forward really that much to this new one. So if he doesn't come back, I don't really care. Give somebody else a crack at it. I think the first movie is really, really fun. But I think he just went too extra on the second one. I hope this new one is a return to form, but if he doesn't come back for the third one, let somebody else have a crack at it. I in my opinion, that's my take on it. Cody, you just saw Kingsman 2, I think recently, right? Tell me, did you like that movie? Would you want to see him return for another one? What are you thinking?
So this is where I'm gonna lose some people, but like after volume 2 of Guardians, I didn't want James Gunn back for the third one anymore. I was a different take on the Guardians after that movie because I didn't like it. Same thing with this one. I thought so. The Kingsman, when the first one came out, I thought it was fun. I'm not in love with the movie. I think it's a fun type of James Bond like kind of movie, and I like the world they built. Then they expanded on the world, and the expansion sucked. Like, I hated what they did. I didn't really like much of anything. I think the action sequences are cool and stuff like that. That's fine. I just want somebody, if you're going to continue on with Kingsman, I would like maybe a new vision on the Kingsman. Maybe somebody that's not stuck in that world, because they're like, let's turn up the jokes and let's turn up the campiness and let's turn up the weird shit and like make it over the top, and it just didn't pay off for me. So again, I'm not in love with the first one technically, so I would be totally fine with a new take on the Kingsman, or if they could stop making them, I'd be okay with that.
Right.
Maggie, so what Vaughn actually said in the article is that he had always planned on actually giving a new director the third one, and now he's actually thinking about changing his mind and coming back to do it anyway. What are your thoughts on that?
I mean, I think it's interesting. I don't know much about Matthew Vaughn's filmography outside of Fandom movies, but as far as I know, other than Kingsman, he doesn't really do sequels. So I think that's kind of interesting that he's chosen to stick with this for 4 movies if he chooses to do Kingsman 3. I mean, he must be really invested, I would say, in the project. I don't think that would be. I'm really indifferent as to whether he does Kingsman 3 or not. If he doesn't do Kingsman 3, I just hope that they get someone good. That's really all I ask for.
Koho, do you have any ideas of who you would want to see take over?
So I have an idea.
Okay, it can't be Lin-Manuel Miranda.
No, Lin's not a director. I mean, he's about to become a director. He's directing Tick, Tick, Boom, and I'm excited for that. But anyway, I think the problem with Golden Circle is the script that Vaughn wrote. It's bad. I don't think his direction of the script is necessarily bad. He brings a cool visual style and like everything to his movies, and The King's Man looks good, which Vaughn rewrote an existing script into being a Kingsman movie. And I think The King's Man looks cool. I have no problem with him coming back, but if he's not coming back, I want Dexter Fletcher to do it. I think Dexter Fletcher has a really, really good eye as a director and has a really good sense. And he's also got that relationship with Taron from Rocket Man.
Well, so with Matthew Vaughn, they're very close. They're
exactly.
Yeah.
So if anyone's going to take over, I feel like Fletcher would keep everything that we love about the Kingsman intact while taking it in a sort of fresh way. And I would love to see Dexter Fletcher make the next Kingsman movie.
Has he made I don't know much about Fletcher. Has he made an action movie?
Yeah, if you want to call Eddie the Eagle an action movie.
I didn't know he made that movie. That's funny.
He made Eddie the Eagle.
Hell yeah.
But like I think it's like Rocket Man is so well made that like I can see from like the choreography of those like scenes that like all you have to do is kind of put some weapons in people's hands. You can make a fun fight sequence out of it with him. So I would trust Dexter Fletcher to make the next Kingsman.
All right. Absolutely. We'll have to wait and see how the King's Man does, if it's any good. because as of right now, I don't think it's screened for anyone. I don't know how it would have. People aren't lining up to go to screenings in Los Angeles, so unless they're sending out screeners to people, I don't think anyone has seen the movie. So we'll have to wait and see. But as of right now, The Kingsman still set to come out later in September. So, okay, let's move on to the next story, which is one Maggie alluded to earlier, and that is that Shang Chi, aka Maggie's love, her favorite human in the world, is back, resumed filming. Maggie, tell me, why do you love Shang Chi so much?
He's on this show, this CBC show, Kim's Convenience, and he's really good, and that show is wonderful. And if you haven't seen it, you should watch it because it's on Netflix. Yeah, so I am super excited to see him in this. And I was just reading his Wikipedia, and he's like in a lot more things than I remember him being in. But anyway, this video of them starting to film again in Australia for Shang-Chi looks amazing. Yeah. I am so pumped. And it, like, the movie comes out like, what is the release date?
So it was supposed to come out in February after Eternals, but now I think it's coming out in May, if I'm not mistaken.
But it's still like less than a year away.
I think,
which kind of blows my mind.
I think it was supposed to be February 2021, and now it's May 2021, and it came with the whole push. But yeah, so I think it's less than a year. I'll double check.
Which is just kind of crazy, but I think it's hilarious that they got this video at all, if I'm being completely honest. I feel like Marvel's usually pretty tight on their shit when it comes to this. But I think it's overall good news. I'm glad they're filming again, and it definitely makes me pumped to see the movie.
Yeah, it was supposed to be out in February of 2021. It is now releasing in May of 2021 after we get Black Widow in November, and Eternals is now taking that February spot. So this being a May tentpole Marvel movie is interesting. I think that's cool because Disney easily could have been like, you know what, let's shake things up. We're going to make Thor come out in May, or Doctor Strange or something, and we're going to move this to October when it's not going to be as busy. But they clearly have faith in the project. I think that's cool. And Maggie thinks that the guy's really sexy and often tells me about it when she watches that show. Koho, your thoughts on Shang-Chi? You are kind of the comic guy. Do you know a lot about Shang-Chi? Are you looking forward to the movie?
Shang-Chi books have historically been okay. But when they say they're making a movie about him, I'm cautiously optimistic. But they made Guardians, which has historically been one of the worst comic book runs for like 30 years, into one of the best movies. So I believe in this movie. But I think the reason why they made it a summer blockbuster is because they can't move it. They have to stay in the order of the phase, because I think it's all kind of linked in that way where they need them to come out in that order. But I think this movie's going to slap. I think a lot of people are really going to go for Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings, especially because it's going to sort of pseudo tie back into the Iron Man world in a way, and that'll give people a sense of familiarity and attachment to this new character by attaching him to one of the most beloved characters that we just lost. So it's devious, but I like it. I'm kind of excited for Shang-Chi.
Cody, if I know you at all, you probably don't know a lot about this movie or what's going on or what it is. Let me paint a picture for you. So it's starring a really sexy guy from a show Maggie likes.
I saw him with his shirt off, yeah.
It might tie in to Iron Man, and it's being directed by the guy who made Short Term 12 and Just Mercy.
Yeah.
So does that give you some excitement? Are you looking forward to this movie?
Is it in the MCU?
Yeah. Yes.
Then yeah. I dislike 4 movies out of the entire MCU catalog. And even then, my dislike for them, there's some enjoyment of some of them. So, man, this dude's ripped. So, if it's gonna be a fight scene, I understand why Maggie finds him sexy. I kind of find him sexy just by just by looking at him. So you know what? Let's see him kick some ass. Like it'd be cool. I think it's kind of neat.
What is his name?
Simu.
Simu. Okay.
I think it's just an interesting. I think it's just interesting. Like I like that they're like Koho said. I mean, Koho could just totally be bullshitting or tell the truth. I don't know, but like I don't know nothing about it. But it's nice that they're so successful now that they can choose some of these characters that are probably B to C to possibly D characters and make them something. So
yeah,
I'm glad to see something that's not, I mean, I will like to see Thor and all those characters, but it's cool to take a break and see some other characters in the world. So I'm on it. Well, that sounds interesting. I hope it's just not on fucking Disney Plus because that would kill me. So because I ain't paying any money for anything.
Yeah, Mandarin. That'll be cool too.
Well, that's what what I was about to bring up was they've cast a real Mandarin.
I love Trevor Slattery, but
you what?
I love Trevor.
I love.
Then I handled it.
Trevor Slattery,
the guy that they have playing the new Mandarin has 99 credits on IMDb and is apparently a very, very famous actor in his market. So that's cool. You also get Aquafina in this movie, who after Crazy Rich Asians and The Farewell, I am all about. I feel like we just watched her in something else too.
Jumanji: The Next Level.
Oh yeah, I liked her in that. The movie was just okay, but I thought she was good.
The Farewell slap. She should have been nominated.
So I agree. And then also Michelle Yeoh, I think, is in this thing too. So they've got a great cast. I'm really looking forward to this.
I am cautiously optimistic to see how they do a comic book accurate Mandarin in film, and how people are going to react to a guy who uses 10 rings that shoot random colorful lights out of his fingertips.
I think if it would have happened in Iron Man 3, people would have liked it more than we. Say what you will about Trevor Slattery or whatever, but when that movie was coming out, I remember watching the trailers and being like, so they're not showing the crazy stuff. They might not do the crazy stuff. They might completely change this character. And for years, I've been like, I like Ben Kingsley, but I'm not happy with what they did with the character. And now that we're getting the real Mandarin, after seeing Endgame, I don't think people will give a shit.
I mean, fair. I'm more worried about the response from people who are not comic book fans to the Mandarin.
That's fair. I'm looking forward to it. Let's move on.
It's
Cody looks confused. Are you confused, Cody?
I'm just saying, like, guys, there's a fucking talking raccoon in a tree. Like,
that's
if you're still,
what I mean.
No, I know, but if everybody's clinging to, okay, so what happens if the villain sucks in an MCU movie? Shocker! Never seen that happen before. So I'll take the risk. I would just like everybody to be fucked up and Ben Kingsley shows back up.
Yeah,
and pisses everybody off.
I want Ben Kingsley to come back in this movie so bad.
Him drunk on a bender when the real Mandarin walks by. Great times.
Kidnapped in one of the one shots by the.
That's true.
He did by Scoot McNairy.
That's right.
In the Marvel one shot, All Hail the King. Yep,
that's right.
It's actually really dope. Justin Hammer also makes an appearance in that one shot. So that's the only other time we've seen Sam Rockwell in the MCU. So, all right, let's move on to the next story, which is the one that we had in the headline, but we're coming to it late. Everybody's breaking the news for me. I miss the days where I was breaking the news for everyone, but now I'm in a community where everybody just tells me everything before I get to it. Maggie was like, Tim, new Pixar movie. It's called Luca. And I was, I did not know that this was happening. Obviously, none of us knew. But it's nice that in, like Koho said, bringing us joy and hope in a time where we are sad, Pixar can be like, hey, motherfuckers, we're going to have another movie next summer, an original property, a new original story, not a sequel, nothing. I think this is a big stretch for them. 3 in a row. Onward, Soul, Luca. 3 movies in a row that are that are original properties.
Soul could be a secret Inside Out sequel.
I still attest it might be a secret Inside Out sequel. We don't know. Why? Oh, Koho doesn't like Inside Out.
Not that much, but if it is, then it might make Inside Out better for me because I'm super excited for Soul.
All right, well, you're a crazy person, but anyway, so apparently this is going to be coming next summer in June, I believe.
Yep.
The story that we have is set in a beautiful seaside town on the Italian Riviera. I can't speak. The original animated feature is a coming-of-age story about one young boy experiencing an unforgettable summer filled with gelato, pasta, and endless scooter rides. Luca shares these adventures with his newfound best friend, but all the fun is threatened by a deeply held secret. He is a sea monster from another world just below the water's surface.
There it is.
Fucking dope. So you hear that and you're like, oh, they're going to make the night. And then, what?
Sea monsters.
Sea monsters. So, Pixar's making a sea monster movie.
Let's go.
And it sounds from that description like I'm probably gonna weep. Cody, you are a big Pixar fan. Are you titillated by this description of this film? Are you excited to see it?
I'm not titillated by your use of titillated, but I will say, Pixar's probably my favorite studio. I just am so excited that this isn't like a sequel or anything at this point. Like, I like when they go original properties. Like, I would not be happy with like a Cars 4 or like certain things like that, like another Dory, another Incredibles. Like, I want something original and fun. No, this sounds sweet. It sounds very, I love the world that they created in Onward. I wanted to spend a little bit more time just in that world instead of like the outward adventure, but I still enjoyed it a lot. And Soul, I'm really excited for, but this one's like they're going a little cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, it sounds like, and I'm kind of excited. Like, I want them to branch out. Like, let's have some fun. If you think about it, we've had like monsters, emotions, fish across the sea. Like, let's get a little bit more crazy. So no, I'm fully on board. Yeah, Pixar can announce anything, and I will be there to watch it. It does not matter. I will never take anybody's word for it because some people said Onward's middle of the road. F you, that movie's great. So I'll go see anything from Pixar.
Am I going crazy? What Pixar movie came out in 2017? Was it Coco?
Coco.
Was that the only one? So Coco was
3.
No, I know that, but I'm saying so Coco before Onward. It was Coco and then Good Dinosaur were the last original ones. Yeah. Okay. I want to look something up while Maggie, you talk about Luca. What do you think about it?
I mean, same as Cody, really. Like, I'm on board no matter what. Like, I remember the first images and like description about what Coco was going to be about, and I was kind of like, I don't know, maybe, I guess, sure. But then the movie came out, and it's my favorite Pixar movie, so like I'm fully ready for whatever they're going to give us. And if you don't know, I'm a huge monster fan, so any sea monster in any form is going to be dope, and I'm excited to see.
Yeah. I just looked up. Coco made $800 million.
Yeah, I did.
So that's a big.
Would have crossed $1 billion if they didn't put it out with Olaf's Frozen Adventure.
Probably true. And then before that, The Good Dinosaur, which I think by all intents and purposes isn't a good movie. I don't think many people like that movie. Still made $350 million.
It's beautiful, but that's about it.
Yeah. So Pixar knows what they're doing when it comes to making the big buccarinos. Like, I'm trying to think, like Brave was also that made $540 million. What else has been like a new property? Inside Out. I got to look at that one.
That made bank.
What did you say? What made bank?
Inside Out.
Oh, Inside Out made $857. My point about looking up these numbers is they can make a movie that is completely wild and original and make bank. I still say if Corona hadn't happened, Onward would have been a huge hit for them financially. It only ended up making just over $100 million, but that's because all the theaters closed. They couldn't make any more money off of it.
We saw it the week before it closed down.
I was gonna say,
it came out the week before everything closed down. So, so I think this sounds great. I think it sounds really cool. I think it's going to make a ton of money. Koho, what do you think about 3 originals in a row?
I think that the first part of that description, I was like, that's the most tame Pixar movie I've ever heard in my life, and it sounds really cool, and I'll still go see it. And then you said sea monsters. I went, that's a Pixar movie. That's more like it. I was waiting for it. I love it. I'm ready. I will watch anything Pixar makes. I love they have some of the most unique original concepts in film ever, and I love everything that they put out for the most part. So
yeah, it says a lot when something like Inside Out makes 857 and almost makes as much as Toy Story 4. Like, I think Toy Story 4 just made over $1 billion. So like that's pretty impressive overall for a studio like that to be constantly just like always crushing at the box office and always crushing on quality as well. Like, I think since 2016, the only one I haven't really liked is The Good Dinosaur. I know a lot of people don't like Dory. I thought it was fine. But they haven't made a arguably bad movie since 2011. Like, say what you will about Cars 3 or Finding Dory, they're not bad movies. They're just meh movies, I think.
I think The Good Dinosaur is bad, but that's just my...
I think Good Dinosaur.
I'm sorry, The Good Dinosaur. That's my bad. I'm sorry. And that one. I think those are the two. There are ones you don't like more than other ones, but anyway.
But at the end of the day, that I think they took that one, even Good Dinosaur, and took it more of a kid approach than adult approach on that one. So, and we were not satisfied with it as older people because we wanted to see it connect to us more. But like, my kids love Good Dinosaur. Like, it's perfect for them. But for me, I feel like it's beautiful, but that's about it.
Yeah, everybody get ready to take a shot. Good Dinosaur looks real good on 4K Blu-ray. All right, next story. Let's get into it. This is the big one for Mr. Koho. Why don't you take it away, Koho?
Okay, for those who have not watched Hamilton, in the actual production, there's something that Philippa Soo does at the end of every show that is not captured on the soundtrack and is very special to the people who see it live. And she gasps at the end, and it's been hotly contested. What does it mean? Well, apparently the gasp has been explained. Tim, go ahead. I don't want to overrun your show. You take it.
No, I want you to overrun the show. Talk about it.
Okay. Well, the gasp has been hotly contested. Everyone's like, what does it mean? Does it mean that she saw the audience? Has she seen Hamilton? What does it mean? I personally always subscribe to the idea that she saw the audience every single night, and that's just me. However, I'm going to try and find the exact quote that she says. That's what I want to find before I speak out of turn.
That's fair.
But she explains why Eliza gasps at the end. So, as I click the Screen Rant Start Now button that I don't love.
Sorry.
Where's the exact quote? Yeah, Sue says that Eliza was breaking the fourth wall and seeing the audience, and she says that it changes every performance for her, which she has maintained in the past. But the main idea that she has said now is that it is her seeing the results of Hamilton's legacy. Is why she gasps at the end, because she sees that her story got told and that his story got told, which means I was right.
Yeah.
Right, according to one person, which granted she's
to Philippa Soo, who created the gasp.
Who created it. Cody, what do you think about this?
So me and my wife watched it again, and I now so when you watch it closely. So when she sees, so they walk around and Lynn turns and comes back towards her. It's not my my thoughts on it. And I know she said it and I think she's right. That's not Hamilton. That's Lynn walking her forward and showing that he told the story of Hamilton for her. And that's what my wife so originally I thought, Hamilton delivers her, but no, Lynn delivers Eliza to the end to show her who lives, who dies, who tells your story. He told the story for her. and that's why she gasped. And like that, now me and my wife talked that out. Like that makes way more sense for me because she's like, if it's the case, if she sees Hamilton before Hamilton at the end, the gas doesn't make sense because she wouldn't gasp at that. But for Lynn to deliver it, kind of neat idea. Again, at the end of the day, like I don't really care. You can make it what you want the gas to mean, but I think it's kind of cool that because of how the whole song is, who lives, who dies, who tells your story. Lynn took the story and told it for her, and I think that's kind of neat.
Maggie, you seem upset.
No, I figured it out now. I'm good. I thought you were saying that like Hamilton himself told the story, but you're saying that Lin-Manuel Miranda as himself.
Yeah, because he's himself on it. He's doing Hamilton. Go, yeah.
I got it now. All right, I understand, and I think that's fine.
Okay.
So we're still talking about Hamilton.
You heard it here, folks. Maggie thinks that's fine. I also don't care. I like to think that on the whatever, because I don't know the full history of it, but I like to think that the appropriate response of like in the story of Hamilton is yes. She's now dying. She's pulling a Les Mis and is dying and going and seeing everybody there at the end. I think that's sure. But I think if you want to look at it the Koho, Cody way, I think that also makes sense. It is what it is. I didn't honestly even really like notice it the first time because I was so into the music. And then all of a sudden Maggie was like, that was the gasp. And I said, so it is what it is.
It's basically the top spin in Inception.
Yeah,
decide how you want it to be.
Absolutely.
Is she dreaming? Is he not dreaming? Like that's literally what you can. Is the gas for Hamilton and Philip, or is it for that she gets to see the story? At the end of the day, no one's gonna sit there and be like, "Well, actually, it's wrong." You're sitting there watching it by yourself, so enjoy the show and just keep watching it because it's great.
Great.
That's accurate. All right,
that's my treat for finishing up my match this week. Is I get to watch Hamilton for the 8th time.
Is that Friday?
Yeah, Friday.
All right, so the final story we'll go to is one that Maggie is very excited about. Alan, he's back. We knew he was going to be back. We knew that him and Laura Dern and Goldblum were all going to be back for Jurassic World Dominion. But he's officially back. He shared an image of the hat. I'm going to try to find the image while Maggie is talking about how pumped she is and some of the other stuff that he had to say. Do you know what I'm referring to, Maggie?
You mean how he's going to be like in the movie? Like Jeff Goldblum?
He also talked about how the practical effects on the raptors and the dinosaurs were some of the best he's ever seen.
Yeah. So he's saying all these fun things. They're just getting me super hyped. I do have to say also, Laura Dern today, after we had already made the show notes and everything, also shared a picture. Not as exciting as the hat. It's just a picture of their like chairs, and it just says their characters' names on them right next to each other. But I'm excited, to see them come back and do something and hopefully be in the movie. They made a huge deal about Jeff Goldblum being in Fallen Kingdom, and as we all know, he was not really in Fallen Kingdom. We were all gypped. So I'm hoping, and it seems like they're going to have a much larger part in this movie, and that is to be expected based on the way that Fallen Kingdom ended. But yeah, and the practical effects thing is super exciting. I don't remember if it was him or if it was actually Colin Trevorrow that said that they're using like more animatronic effects than like even the first movie, like Jurassic Park. So I think that that's super interesting. We'll see how that works and how that sort of combines with whatever CGI they decide to do. I think the CGI in the Jurassic World movies is fine. Like, it's not bad or anything. So, but I'm excited. Practical effects are almost always better. And so, yeah, it's going to be great. I think this is like our 4th week talking about Jurassic World because I just won't let it go. And it's happening, and it's exciting.
All of that is true. Koho, your thoughts on Sam Neill returning, having only seen Jurassic Park twice in your life?
I'm ready to watch Jurassic World Dominion. It's going to be cool. I thought Fallen Kingdom was a little boring. and the end of it was really cool. And I was more excited for what was coming next than what Fallen Kingdom presented. And so, yeah, I'm just ready for Dominion because Battle at Big Rock slaps. And if we're getting a whole movie like Battle at Big Rock, let's go.
Cody, you love Jurassic World, hate Fallen Kingdom? Is that that sounds about right? Your thoughts on this?
I think so Jurassic Park is in this top tier, like sitting on its own shelf. And the rest are disaster movies. And I love disaster movies and I think they're fun. It's hard to recreate a park opening for the first, the specialty. I loved Goldblum at the end of Jurassic World. It got me flipping pumped to hear him go, "Welcome to Jurassic World," and you see the Megalosaurus behind the surfer. That shit's sweet. I can't wait to see it out in the open. Sam Neill doesn't excite me because Sam Neill was also in the third one, and I hate the third one. So,
Alan,
it's not his fault.
No, I know, but bringing him back, I just want it to be a good story. I don't care what they do. Let's have some dinos wreck some shit, okay? But no, I'm fully on board. I will be there. I love Jurassic World. I don't care what anybody says. I think that movie is fun. I think that movie has got so many good moments in it. I kind of like the animatronic thing because that's what made me fall in love with the first one. So I think they did you could definitely tell the CGI in the Fallen Kingdom was just overkill. Yeah, bring it on. I'm glad the Hulk gang's back. I think it's going to make some nostalgic feelings. I hope there's a kick-ass score. I hope dinos eat a bunch of people and we get some cool Goldblum lines. And if that's the case, I'll be there.
Maggie, final question to you about this topic. In this movie, will we see Chris Pratt saddle ride Blue through Las Vegas like a horse?
Absolutely not. He's way too big for her. He probably could carry her, or she probably could carry him, but Raptors would not work well that way. You want them to be doing what they're doing if she's on their side. So
if that's the case, I want Goldblum on the back of the T-Rex.
If you're gonna ride a dinosaur, you're gonna ride I don't even know.
None of them are
meant for riding.
What did the little kid ride in the petting zoo?
It was a Triceratops baby.
What does that look like? I just wish Ellie Sadler would have if Laura Dern would have just took a picture of dinosaur shit and tweeted that out and be like, "Haha, we're filming.
We're back."
That's what we're back.
All right, so guys, that is gonna do it for us. Those are the stories. There's nothing coming out. Normally, I would say, "Hey, here are the things you can watch on digital this weekend." There's nothing. Koho, you look like you kind of have. Oh no, that was just you dancing. I thought you were actually, there might be something. But
no.
There's still fun stuff to watch, guys, in the world. Go watch Hamilton again. Maybe check out YLS tomorrow night. It could be the longer than the extended version of Return of the King. Cody, tell me about it.
And even better.
It's the top. It's the 1 through 10. I'm not mentally ready for it at all. I don't think I will be until maybe 30 minutes, and I'll die an hour in. It's going to be a lot of fun. I think it's going to be one of our best episodes. I know it's going to be long. I know most people will bounce in and out. But there is a moment tomorrow that will happen that may break our community in half. There is a moment that may send shockwaves and make people blow up our chat. And I can't wait for that moment to happen. I've waited so long for it. So get ready for it because I'm going to lose it. A lot of people are going to lose it. It's going to be fun time.
All right. And Koho, we have a lot coming up in fandom this weekend. Tell us about
We have a triple header this week, boys and girls. This weekend, we have a half debut teams match. Wookiee Mistake, Joe Farrelly, and David Garcia are playing the 0-1 Big Guns, who last time you saw them was in the number one contenders match with the Knights of Ren. They will be playing, while we also have the singles debut, Adelaide Spence versus Evan DeGraff. And on Sunday is a complete teams debut, On Your Left versus Irish Brothers. Amaru Moses, Aaron Sellers playing Jack Pinchuk and Doug Cassel. So you're gonna want to check that out.
If you hate me and want to see me slowly descend into madness, there are 2 matches this weekend for you. Because I'm not going to say which ones they are, but I'm not in one of them. So we'll leave it at I'm not in one of the 3 matches. I'm not hosting one of them. The other 2 I am, and I wanted to bash my head through the wall for those. So if you don't like me and you want to see me slowly descend into chaos, that's fair, Andrew Barr. Watch those matches this weekend. Warzone also has stuff going up this weekend. I know for sure Nick Twohig is playing Jim Green, and I know
Garth
Yes.
McMurray versus Jake Meltzer, and Doug Cassel versus Nazario Montenegro.
Okay, so those are the matches. Yep. And then no new fan zone this week. And Miscellaneous is off this upcoming week, but there was a great episode last night, so go check that out. Cody and Kaleb turned a lot of heads last night, so
we did.
You'll want to check that out. Every Monday, you'll get a new podcast from Brooklyn, so check those out on the podcast network if you are not already subscribed on Apple Podcasts, Anchor, or whatever else we are on. I think I covered and it's not happening yet, so don't get your undies in a bundle. Not this Sunday, and not this Sunday, but the following week, the 16th, will be the first episode of TWOHIG'S Trivia Night. That's going to be live, so you will not want to miss that first episode of the brand new Multiplex show, TWOHIG'S Trivia Night. It's going to be a great one. Twohig will definitely be turning some heads on that one. He is and probably making a lot of people weep and a lot of people laugh. It's going to be really, really fun. So be sure to check out the new brainchild from Multiplex Entertainment. It's going to be a good time. And also, I just want to say one last thing. If you haven't already, but a lot of you have, please go check out Mayhem at the Multiplex 3. We dropped it the last weekend. The response has been incredible. Over 120 views on all 3 videos. A crap ton of likes on the videos. So, guys, thank you for enjoying those. Thank you for being a part of them for the people who were, and thank you for making them a success because we had a lot of fun with those videos, and they did very well. So thank you very much. I don't think there's anything else. So with that was the show. We'll see you next time, next Tuesday, same time, same bat channel. Bring in the dancing enchiladas.
You're still here? It's over.
She's out of our hair, and just when I dare to care, she says, au contraire, you're my pair of friends. I love you.
Keep it together, man.